Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching. My name is Rich Tehrani. On our program today, Dan Boehm, who is the VP of Sales and Marketing at Spectrum Corp. Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, Rich. Yourself?
Very well. So our company has been following your company for at least since the mid to late 80s, right?
80s, that's right.
87 is when you were in the contact center space?
Yeah, that's when we started.
And your company's actually 1 year older than TMC. You were founded in?
71.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. Well, long-term growth. Lots of things changed, and you just continue to do what customers are looking for from you. And so over the course of years, just listen to our customers and change the organization to meet what they want to do. Also been able to create other divisions within the organization to diversify ourselves a little bit and remain profitable.
And so over that entire time, you've been helping with contact center reporting, and you've evolved how you report that information.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Years ago, it started out as pure hardware, where we were talking to the ACDs and the PBXs, and those devices would send us information, and we would display it on an LED wallboard. Today, that part of our business is less than 5%. Most of what we do today is we go out and extract information from the customer sources and then bring it into our software and manipulate that information and turn around and send it out, again, out as software to maybe an LCD screen that a customer may have, but also to web reports, email, smartphones, and dashboards. So the old LED wallboard is such a small part of our business today, but still that's what people recognize us as because we've been in it for such a long time.
So you're really helping boost the productivity of contact centers.
Oh, absolutely. We've got many case studies showing where customers have been able to improve their efficiencies and effectiveness. It seems like a small percentage, but anywhere from 3 to 7%. But when you spread that out over 500, 600 agents, that becomes a tremendous growth and opportunity for the contact center. We've got one customer who, using their own numbers, nothing from us, showed an ROI in less than 30 days. That's huge. And that's all because they've been able to improve the agent performance by utilizing our software.
So there are parts of the country right now or parts of the world right now where your technology is even more vital than others, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing a tremendous change in the Asia-Pacific marketplace right now. There's so much going on there. It's a very volatile, maybe that's not the right word to use, but it's such a changing marketplace. We're seeing things in India where the cost of running a contact center is increasing. Agent attrition is very, very high. We have got agents that are demanding much more money every year. And with that, it's becoming more difficult for those contact centers to remain profitable because they're getting pressure from the US and the UK companies to maintain low cost. That's the reason why they've gone to those countries, right? And so they're getting that pressure, and so the only way to help them is for them to become more efficient. Now, years past, it didn't matter because throw another agent at it. What does that cost you? Nothing. Today, with the agent attrition and the constant training and the increased cost to maintain that agent year on, year out, they've got to do something else, and that's where they're coming to our technology.
And we're hearing about attrition rates as high as 60% every year and wage inflation of 10 to 20% a year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, absolutely. And so they're trying to do something to minimize the effect of the attrition and of the wage increases, and that's where utilizing our product to help them with their agent efficiency has paid off. We're also seeing a change where companies are moving from India to the Philippines. And so there's a lot more demand out of the Philippines today than there was, say, 5 years ago. And it's because there's much more, many more agents available. The training is a bit easier as opposed to a country like India. So we're seeing a lot of demand out of the Philippines. In addition, Singapore is also jumping up very rapidly for us. And so we're seeing projects coming out of Singapore that 5 years ago just never would have happened. But today, they're coming to us and saying, look, we've got to do something. What can you do to help us?
It's amazing, isn't it? It's been about 10 years since India has become a viable contact center location, and now we're seeing the wage inflation get to a point where the country is having to outsource even more to other countries.
Sure. Let me give you an example. Just in our organization, My salespeople are demanding raises every year. And as a salesperson, your sales are based, I mean, your compensation is based upon your sales. And yet they're demanding a raise regardless of how they do. And that is happening across the board with all organizations. These salespeople, these agents, these people are just, they demand more money every year regardless of performance. And that becomes very difficult for a company to manage. How do you manage when your own people are not performing any better this year than they did last year, but they still want to raise? And so now you try to weigh, okay, I can't afford to give this person 10, 20% more than last year, but how much is it going to cost me to train a new person and get them up to speed?
Right.
So you weigh all those things and make a decision. The same thing is happening in contact centers today. They're running into the same problem. However, attitudes with agents or people that were agents has changed. They don't look at the contact center as a position that is this ideal position. This is a lifetime position. Not anymore. They're just walking away from it. They don't care how much money they're getting paid. It's not for me anymore. And that's why we're seeing a shift out of India and to the Philippines. And that's not the only reason, of course. There's other things going on where U.S. companies are saying, look, this isn't working for us, and they've had to make a decision and make a change. Maybe 10 years ago, the contact center was considered truly a cost center. And today, they know that that's no longer the case, right?
Right.
We've got an agent who is the face of our organization. When you and I call to get support on a product, and we call into in India, and that's the face of the organization, and they don't know what the problem is. They go by a script, and they start at number one, and they work their way down, and you as a customer get very frustrated
Right.
with that type of support.
Absolutely.
And so U.S. companies have noticed that, look, this isn't working for us anymore. If we need to maintain our high level of customer satisfaction, we've got to do something different. And that's why we've seen some companies pull out of India altogether and move back to the U.S., which of course for us is not a bad thing, right?
Sure. And certainly your company helps contact centers become more efficient regardless of country, right? It doesn't matter where
That's
they are.
right, that's right. Because our solution is, doesn't really care where it is. It's a global type of solution, enterprise type of solution. So we work with many multinational companies providing enterprise reporting for them, collecting information regardless of where it's located, putting our software out on a server somewhere regardless of where the customer wants it. We don't really care. With the strength of the LAN WAN situation today, it doesn't matter where we put our solution. It doesn't matter where the endpoints are. Everything is so seamless today.
And whose equipment are you typically connecting to? Is there just a lot of aspect stuff out there in active intelligence, Avaya, who? What are you seeing?
Well,
Cisco?
For Spectrum, Avaya, Cisco, Genesys, but we also do a lot with other types of sources because this is where the strength of our product comes in. We're not just about reporting on an ACD or a PBX. We're about reporting on many different tools. So we're grabbing information from, let's just say, an Avaya platform, but also from their ticketing system or for their CRM or their workforce management. And then we extract the information from there and we provide unified reports or summary reports to different levels within the contact center. So as an agent, we'll provide something to their desktop or maybe to an LCD screen that is specifically about the agents. And then as we move up in the organization, supervisors and managers are going to get different type of information. And by providing summary information, managers and agents can make immediate decisions on what needs to be done next,
Right.
rather than waiting until the end of the day. By the way, you should have done this early this morning. Huh? Okay, I promise tomorrow I'll remember that. But that doesn't help you right now. So by being proactive, alerting everybody, letting them know what's going on, companies are able to increase their efficiencies very, very quickly.
So final question is, what's next for the company? What are you going to be doing?
Well, there's a lot of different things that are going on. So we listen to our customers, of course, and we adjust and modify our product based upon what customers are telling us today. But we also do a lot of research into what's going on. What's the next change in technology that we can grab a hold of and help our customers? Let me give you some examples. So recently, you know, with the downturn in the economy a few years back, we had to figure out ways to help customers continue to use our product. And looking at what some of the bigger companies like a Microsoft or an SAP have done with licensing, licensing became an issue for a lot of their customers. How do I continue to pay these licenses fees? They're very expensive. So we were thinking the same thing, because we have many, many small companies that want to utilize our product and gain the benefits, just like a large company would. But they could not afford the license fees. And so what we're doing is we're offering license fees that can be spread out for a year, 2 years, or 3 years, still allow them to gain the benefit of our solution, but not have to pay that capital expenditure right away.
Right, that makes sense.
So that's one of the things that we're doing. But we're also looking at other things that's changing in the industry and seeing how we can grab a hold of those and use that technology within our own technology.
You mean cloud and things like that?
Certainly the cloud is something that we're looking at, but there's many challenges for us in the cloud. For example, exposing a PBX or an ACD to the cloud is just not possible, is it? So that's one issue that we run into. Certainly security is another issue. Not only collecting the information, but also pushing it back out. Security is a tremendous issue for our customers. And then, of course, there's the transactional issues that go on with cloud-based product, as well as latency issues, because we're doing real-time reporting, and if I have a latency issue at all, you know, what was real-time information to one customer is now historical information, and that's not really good enough for them, is it?
Right, that's a good point, yeah. Well, thanks so much for being on the program.
You're welcome, Rich. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you again.